The following contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Death should be a party. Death, where is that sting? I ain't afraid of death, bring it. Not right now, but you know. That's right, man. You're gonna want to come to my funeral. I'm gonna put the fun in funeral. It's gonna be hard to be sad. I got a big bowl of candy on my chest. That's gonna help some people, man. People walking by my casket. I can't believe you're gone. I can't believe Smarties. Oh my God.
Hello, boys. Marc.
I just pooped and it smells fabulous.
Lowell.
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one.
It's the Marc and Lowell Show,
It was a show just for me and you, much like this podcast.
where two guys bring you stories and opinions
Our listeners will not laugh.
But if we laugh, then people will laugh.
built on 30 years of friendship.
You were singing operatically.
Yeah, while you were taking the camera.
And I was zooming in.
zooming in on my crotch.
Yes.
Along with a regular cast of pals to help them remember it all.
Camp is the best.
Get your shit together.
All right, so back to your swamp ass.
Say ho.
Now, here's Marc and Lowell.
Hello and welcome, everybody, to the Marc and Lowell Show. I am your host, Marc Ronick, and here with me, as always, my co-host, Lowell Melser. Hello, Lowell.
Yo. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've had a whirlwind of a week.
Yeah, I know. You had some things to do and people to see and all that, huh?
Yeah, well, we left off on our last show. I had said at the very end I was headed to Colorado to see our good friend Jonah, who will not be with us tonight because, as everyone knows, he is the busiest man in the world.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, so I was ready to go, and we'll get to it, but there was a big detour that occurred and changed everything, and I didn't get to go to Colorado.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No Colorado.
No, I was very sad. But we'll get to all that in just a moment. First, let's welcome in our good friend Lisa Runyon. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, boys.
Welcome back. And as I said, no Jonah and no Dan. It was great to have him last week. I really enjoyed our episode with him last week.
You got to get the piano working on the new board you have.
Yeah, in some ways I'm glad he's not here because then Lowell doesn't have to bust my balls about not having the keyboard set up.
Yeah, set it up. Set it up.
I did like how Dan was like, wow, Lowell really just wants me here for the piano, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But before we go any further...
It just adds so much.
The piano?
Yeah.
I
It just
know.
does.
It does. It really does. And Dan does it so well.
He does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like he's, as he said, fighting with his one arm behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
He does need it. So I will work on that, I promise. But first, let me remind everybody, Halloween right around the corner.
Halloween.
So if you haven't gotten your Halloween candy or you haven't gotten your Halloween decorations yet for the trick-or-treaters, or maybe even you haven't gotten the costumes, great place to go is Amazon, as everybody knows. What we always want you to do is first go to markandlowell.com before you do your Halloween shopping. When you see anything Amazon, just click it at markandlowell.com and then do your shopping. You could even bookmark the page once you do that. Whoa. This is a new track that we got playing behind me.
There you go. For Halloween.
What is that?
It was a little song for Halloween.
But what was the contraption it came from?
My iPhone. I held it up to the microphone.
Oh, it looked like a children's toy from the screen here.
No, it was my iPhone. I was just holding it up to the speaker.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you could even bookmark the Amazon page once you click through markandlowell.com. But once you do all your shopping. And full disclosure, we get a little commission off of every sale that you give to Amazon. So please do us a favor, help this show out, and go to markandlowell.com, then click Amazon and do all your Amazon shopping this Halloween season.
Yes.
So what's Reed going to be for Halloween?
Kylo Ren.
Is he really sticking with Star Wars?
Yeah, he wanted Kylo Ren, but he's getting into Thanos now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, have you let him see any of the Avengers stuff yet?
Have not. He watches all kinds of stuff on YouTube and everything. But
Right.
I'm sure all those movies we could just get on Netflix at this point, right?
Well,
Or
soon.
is that Disney?
Yeah, soon.
That's Marvel, right?
Yeah, you'll get it on Disney Plus. Although apparently they're not. I haven't really read it thoroughly yet, but it won't be every single Marvel movie just yet.
There's already complaining going on. I saw on like people that have it. They're like, wait, all the Marvel movies aren't here. What the hell?
And it's not even out yet, and everybody's already complaining.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it is out.
No, it's not. I am a subscriber. I'm a pre-subscriber. It comes out November, I think it's 11th or 12th. I can't remember.
A pre-subscriber to what?
But what you're hearing, Lowell, is recently to Disney Plus, their new answer to Netflix. But it's all Disney and Disney-related movies.
Oh, okay.
Where was I? Oh, I think the reason that Lowell is thinking that it was out is there was a big to-do. Recently, Disney Plus kind of released a list of every movie they're going to have available on Disney Plus. And that's why people are complaining.
So I guess they'll have all the Star Wars on there, right?
Yes, they said they will have all the Star Wars on there. And, they're also going to have the new Star Wars TV series, Mandalorian, the live action, hosted by Jon Favreau. I shouldn't say hosted, directed by.
The Disney streaming, is that on a Fire Stick and all that? Like
Yeah,
the
it's
smart
going to be
apps?
just like a Netflix kind of deal.
Right.
You're going to get it on either your mobile devices or probably all your Fire Stick or whatever it may be. I'm excited about it. It's going to have a ton of stuff. And like I said, lots of different TV series as well. A lot of Marvel stuff, TV series and that kind of thing. It's great for a guy like me.
Right. Your little seventh heaven over there.
Where do we begin?
Yeah.
Jonah and I were so excited to get together. Now, I was going to go to Colorado, of course, to hang out with Jonah and Megan and their daughter Amelia. Really looking forward to that time. But we were going to actually do a little work too, because Jonah's working. This is a little exclusive here. Jonah is working on his own podcast that he's going to do. How he'll have the time,
Right.
we'll wait and see.
Right.
But he's working on a motivational, inspirational type of podcast about living life with a disability. So I was going to help him get on his way with that. Vince Russo, who's part of the Realm Network, I was going to meet with him. He lives in the Colorado area, so I was going to sit down with him. So it was going to be a little business stuff, too.
Right. How many days were you going to be gone?
We were going to go from early Thursday morning and come back late Sunday night last weekend. So we had Yom Kippur recently, which is the Day of Atonement, where you're not allowed to eat or do anything except be really sad and
be miserable.
And atone for your sins.
and atone for your sins. Exactly.
Yes.
And then, at the end of that day, you have a big feast with usually family and friends. So we did that with Amy's parents. Came home, I had to run to the grocery store, get the kids ready for school the next day. And as I'm at the store, I get a phone call. It's Amy. Mark, my uncle just passed away. I wasn't even thinking about the trip,
Right.
honest truth. But she actually said after she was telling me what happened, she said, but you still got to go to Colorado. And that's when it all clicked. I'm like, oh shit, I have
Right.
a trip tomorrow morning, first
Right.
thing in the morning. So it was this whole dilemma. It was the,
Yep. Yeah.
because Amy she was so serious. She's like, you go, it's fine. You don't have to come. My family will understand. It's not just a pleasure trip. You've got actual business stuff too. I'm talking to Jonah and Megan, and they're like on the fence, like, what do you do?
Right.
Amy's brother said, tell Mark it's okay. He should go, not to worry about it. Her mom said it's really fine. Like, everybody's given me
The go ahead.
The
If
go
everybody
ahead.
gave you the go ahead, then go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. That's when I start debating in my head.
Why?
Because how can I just go? First of all, Amy's uncle, it's her dad's brother, has passed away suddenly. Okay, he was, I'll tell everybody, it was very sad, but very happy at the same time. He's a very religious family. They're Orthodox. They're the family, I've told you before, I've gone to like the bat mitzvah, the Orthodox bat mitzvah not too long ago. Same family, his grandchildren. But he was on his way home from synagogue from Yom Kippur. And on his way home, he had collapsed and passed. And we think it was probably a heart attack. But, in the Jewish religion, a time like that, if you pass, that's apparently a blessing. And it's a huge special thing. So I just was debating, though. It's like, how can I go? Leave Amy, her dad's brother passes away, and how can I just let her go off and not be there with her? And not be there with her family.
You kind of feel like a schmuck if you just go off.
Yeah,
and
you're like a real
well,
asshole.
Listen,
Yeah,
we haven't been
bye.
quite married a year yet, but I'm gonna leave you here and go play with my friends.
Right. Bye. Bye-bye.
I just didn't feel right.
Right.
Being away. You guys just said, like, I've only been a part of this family officially for a year and a half right?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I had to be there. The good, bad, and the ugly of situations. I got to be there with this family now. I got some catching up to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good news is Amy and I didn't give up right there. We decided, let's see if we can go next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we coordinated with Jonah, and long story short, we will be in Colorado this weekend.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
How wonderful.
What would you do if Allie's like, hey, it's really fine? Because I didn't know the uncle that well.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, it's also Orthodox. I've never been a part of an Orthodox funeral or
Right.
Shiva, which
Right.
for those that don't know, that is the time after the whole funeral. Then you have several days of mourning period and people come and take care of you and be there for you.
Some prayers.
So, I didn't know the tradition, so there's a little anxiety just about how is that all going to go. What would you do, Lowell, if you really got the green light?
I probably would have stayed.
Stayed meaning you would have stayed back with your wife.
Yeah. I would have probably done that.
What would you do, Lisa?
I'm just like such a dick, man, because I would be like, okay, if you're sure you don't mind. I was really looking forward to this trip.
Right.
I
There
mean,
is some of that, because especially the fact that you didn't really know him that well, and
Right. I mean, he came to my wedding. His whole family came to my wedding, and he was always very kind to me and very nice to me, and like to bust balls a little bit. But yeah, that's the thing, is that's what I kept saying to myself that whole time, is what do I do? Because nobody's going to be upset with me if I'm
Right.
not there.
well, I mean, I think you could make an argument for both things. I don't know if it's
There isn't probably a
there
right or
isn't
wrong.
a right answer, because the bottom line is you would have gone to Colorado and nothing would have changed. Everything would have been fine.
Right, exactly. But I think what worked best for me, just skipping to the end of that part of the story,
you feel better about that
I feel better
choice.
about it, and I got a chance to bond with the family and really get to know a lot of the family and get to know him in this
Through their
memorializing
stories.
kind
Yeah,
of way.
yeah.
So it was great. It was a happy ending for me in that regard, just because I really got to bond with this family, and I had all circumstances considered, I had a great time just getting to know them.
It is making people feel better too.
And one of the things I kind of discovered with the family, the youngest son of Uncle Mel, his name is John. John is he's in his early 40s, I think. Okay. We're standing in this room before you go in for the service of the funeral. Family and friends come through and they offer their condolences and that kind of thing. And I'm sitting with the family, hanging out with the family in this room as people come through. And he and I are just kind of sitting in there. And he and I have talked and have had good conversation already. But we were just both kind of not talking to anybody. And he comes up to me and he leans over and he goes, "So I know this is totally inappropriate, but I'm a really big fan." And he listens to our podcast.
Oh, you got your fan.
Yes. And I was I didn't know how to respond to that, because I'm feeling bad for this guy the whole time. His dad has just passed.
Right.
And then he comes over and he totally broke the ice. It was great. And
That's awesome.
He was telling me he goes to work. He takes the bus. He lives in New York City, takes the bus to work. When he wants a laugh, he'll put on one of our podcasts. He even referenced one of the episodes where, I think it was earlier this year, Jonah was telling Lowell, you and I think it was the time we recorded from your basement. Mm-hmm. He was telling us how Megan had discovered his soiled underwear.
Flashback. It's a small example of what true love is really all about, because I was sitting, if I remember correctly, on the couch, and Megan does the laundry. She's on laundry in our house. Mm-hmm. She's separating the laundry and putting the piles together, and she goes, "Oh God." And I go, "What?" And she comes out,
no.
and she's holding a pair of my boxer briefs inside out.
Oh God.
With skins. Oh, skins.
I mean, 3 different skids.
It looked like an 18-wheeler had skidded off the road.
Literally 3 different streaks of brown, baby.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, what are you going to do in that moment but just start laughing and be like, all right, well, this is as embarrassing as it gets. And she goes, oh, it's all right. I still love you, baby. And she turns around and goes back in and keeps doing the laundry. And I'm like, that is love.
With your stink.
That is love.
That was one of the stories he said. And then this is the thing is, fast forward, we're like with a group of people, and now he's telling multiple people in the room about the podcast.
Right,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and he's sitting there telling everybody about, oh, yeah, and he was talking about this guy in his podcast that had, the shit-stained underwear. And I feel that this is one of the first times I'm in a room feeling very uncomfortable talking about my podcast.
Yeah,
It was-
the shit-stained underwear.
Yeah, especially in the middle of, a funeral Shiva house. Where,
Yeah, this guy's best known for the shit-stained underwear. Everyone, gather around.
Gather around, look at him.
Gather around. Look at this guy. Yeah, he talks about his shit-stained underwear. It turns into your shit-stained underwear.
Right, that's the
He's
thing.
talking about his shit-stained underwear.
That's the thing, is there was definitely a point where I had to clarify, not me, Amy, you can tell them, not me.
And everyone's like, oh, yeah, ha, 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 your underwear, ha, 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 hee, hee, hee.
And on the way home, they're talking about, that Mark, he does look like he could have some.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he has some digestive issues.
And I can vouch for it. He can. Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then, of course, then it's gotten weird because we've even had some people, like friends of family that we got to know who have reached out since, like texted Amy, and they're like talking about, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, and blah, 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 just small talking. And at the end, oh, by the way, I understand Mark's got a very good podcast. Can you tell me where I can find that to download?
Nuh-uh.
Now I just don't know if I could show my face anymore at any family function there because I don't know who's listening.
Right. No, you can do it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, so they asked me early on to be a pallbearer.
Did we talk about this?
What do you mean?
Finish your story. I was recently at a funeral too.
Okay.
For my great aunt, and I have a pallbearer connection.
It's a really upbeat show we got going on.
Yeah,
I know, but I have a good
I know.
pallbearer connection. So go
Good
ahead.
job, Mark.
But look, I'll tell you why I'm telling you this, because it absolutely terrifies me. Because God forbid I'm the asshole.
You're the weak link.
Yeah, that can't do it. I mean, there was one part where the rabbi is telling us when we're going to have to lift the casket into the hearse. He keeps saying, okay, guys, this is going to be really heavy. Okay, guys. Like he's really warning everybody.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, and who's the youngest, strongest guy? And it's like everybody, boom, looks at me. And I'm like, I ain't the strongest guy. I promise. All right. And then I'm thinking about my back from earlier this year.
Yeah, oh, no.
Don't they have something that they put it on that's like a thing and then that puts it in? Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't have
So
to like...
it ended up not being as big of a deal at that moment
Right.
to put the casket in. But once we get to the cemetery,
You got to take it out.
there was a point where I think it was my mother-in-law. She's like, she tapped me. She's like, oh, Mark, they're calling the pallbearers again. I get this rush of anxiety because
no.
just the responsibility is what it is.
Right,
that-
right. You don't want to be the one to mess up.
And then they're like, and Mark, as the youngest and strongest pallbearer, you will now say a prayer for
Yeah.
us, and only Hebrew, only Hebrew prayer.
Yes, there's definitely anxiety about that too. Yeah. Because I
Mark.
don't my Hebrew, I don't remember much of anything
Yeah,
anymore.
and all off the top of your head, please.
Right, from memory.
And we'll wait until
And
you
we'll
get
wait.
it right.
We'll wait. We'll hold up the funeral until you can get out at least 4 to 5 paragraphs of Hebrew
Yeah.
in a nice prayer.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. So there was this moment we did actually have to carry it from the car to the site.
The site.
This cemetery that we're in actually turned out happened to be the same one that my grandfather was in as well. But it's just jam-packed. There's not a lot of ways to maneuver. So now we're having to carry this heavy casket
through like, tombstones and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of maneuvering. So
And it's like ground, so it's not perfectly even. And
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely a little panicked. We'll get past the morbid stuff in just a moment, but There is this part of a ceremony during a Jewish funeral where people can assist with the digging portion of it, right? So you can actually put dirt in, kind of like as a final goodbye kind of thing. Lowell, I know you've been a part of these. I've been a part of these. And of course, one of the things that goes through your mind is watch where you're walking, because you're right there. You're right at this big hole, right? So that's one of the first things that worries me as I'm walking away from it is where I'm going to step.
You fell in?
Well,
Oh, no.
I'm standing there, and I go to the back as soon as I can because I'm just so nervous that somebody's going to do something by accident.
You just
and
wanna be
I just
away
don't. I
from
don't
them.
want to be in the middle of it.
Recognize you from the podcast.
And yeah, right. No, but I'm watching this one guy. I would say he's probably late 50s or something. He does his thing, and he starts to walk away. One leg in.
Shut
one leg out.
up.
He fell.
Shut up.
Fell in the grave.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I knew it wasn't a moment. It was certainly in the moment. It wasn't a moment to laugh.
Right.
Because it's like sheer panic. But I'm thinking, like, how does anybody
that's
ever
pretty
do that?
far
Because
down there.
isn't that the thing you think about the most when you're walking right by it?
Watch the big giant hole. Yeah, I think so.
And there was nothing wrong with this guy. It wasn't, he
right.
was just your average dude, just not paying attention at all.
Hop!
All right, stick around for the Easter egg. I'm not going to play it now. There was recently a story in the news about a dude in Ireland who had passed away recently, and he played a prank on his family. So I'll play that. Stick around for the very end of the show, and you will hear it for the Easter egg. Hear the whole prank. In the meantime, last thing, as we're driving home from the cemetery, we're in New Jersey.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
We're leaving the cemetery, and I put in Waze. It's taken me, everything's fine, and it reroutes a couple times because, we're in New York, New Jersey. It's going to be pretty busy traffic. Reroutes a couple of times. Then all of a sudden I realize before it's too late, as I'm following the directions, it's about to take me through Manhattan to get to the other part of New Jersey I'm going.
What? It said it was faster to go through Manhattan?
Yes. And this isn't the first time that this has happened to me. And, side note, for those who don't know me, I'm not a fan of driving through New York at all.
I don't think anybody is.
Yeah, but I'm not really a big fan of going through New York at all, whatever means of transportation. And it's at a point where once you realize you're going down into downtown New York, there's no turning
There's
back.
no escape, right?
Oh,
There's
wait,
like-
you couldn't turn around?
There was no turning back at this point.
Geez.
Because before I knew it, I'm going through the Holland Tunnel, baby.
Right, you're going through a tunnel, and you can't. When I was going through, there was so much traffic, and I'm stuck between all these big trucks, and I can't see even the signs that are telling me which part to get into.
And that's the other thing, by the way, side note. I am so sorry, New Jersey people that listen to the show, but New Jersey's signs and roads and rules and all that, it's so effed up.
It's all
I mean, there's we were on a highway, and there was a sign that on our left that said, to go to New York, go right. And it's on my left. And then on the other one, it's like, to go to New Jersey, on my right-hand side, go to your left.
Right.
It's like, put the signs where you're supposed to veer to, not the opposite direction.
Why would you do it opposite?
So did you go through Manhattan then?
I went through Manhattan for a drive that should have taken a little over maybe an hour. It took me almost 3 hours.
Wait, what?
Yes, because I was stuck in the fucking city at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Oh my God, it sent you through the Manhattan during rush hour?
Yes, I went down Broadway.
Mark!
I mean, dude, I was so angry. Lesson learned, always check the overview before you go on your way.
Yes,
but even
check
then it
the
reroutes
Waze.
you. But it reroutes you sometimes.
But you can deny that.
I
You can
know,
say
but
no.
with Waze, I don't always get the offer. It's just like, we found you a faster way.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations.
How could they say that? So what? So it would have taken longer going the other way then? Was traffic that bad?
I just think it did a piss poor job of calculating that scenario.
Oh my God.
Who was in the car with you?
Amy, who was sleeping. Okay, it was the only thing that kept my sanity, really, because
You didn't want to.
I didn't want to wake her up. She was sleeping. She was peaceful. But the moment she woke up, I'm like, good morning, welcome to fucking New York City.
She's like, what?
She has no idea what's going on, and I instantly just lost my shit after that. Not on her, just in general.
Just out loud, yeah.
It was so bad.
Wait, you were driving from Newark to where?
No, I wasn't in I was like heading toward Newark from where I was in New Jersey, which was like Elizabeth, New Jersey, I think.
Oh,
No, I was in...
or like North Jersey?
Yeah, no, I was in... Like, I don't even know where the fuck I was. I don't really know.
You know, we just went to Baltimore to go out. We hadn't been down there in a long time.
Yeah, where you used to live, your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, and it was kind of the same thing. It was like we went down to the city, and it was like, this road closed, this one's thing, this through that. And then we looked at our old stomping grounds and everything.
Yeah.
Like we were in Fells Point. There were all parking lots. There are all like high-rise buildings now. We lost our bearings and couldn't figure out where we were for a second.
Wow.
Because there were so many buildings down there now that once were never there.
The same thing has happened in in Bethesda, Maryland, where you and I used to frequent in our 20s.
Yeah.
Same idea now, man. If you go down there, you won't recognize half of it. It's crazy what's happening to a lot of these cities.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, not Newark, though. Not Newark, New Jersey. Boy, they could care less about updating that town.
Oh,
man.
yeah, that's a shithole.
Those streets are filled with potholes, and the buildings look like they're falling apart.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's Gotham City.
it's Gotham City.
It is.
really
It
is.
is pretty bad reputation too.
You know, it's funny. We went out and, you know, we talk about like crowds and city and everything. So every year in Baltimore, they have like the Fells Point Festival.
Yeah.
And when Allie and I were younger and lived in that area, we would like couldn't wait for it.
Right.
We'd go like Friday night, Saturday night, get wasted. You know, it was like fun.
Yeah.
Then as we got older, we tried to avoid it.
Yes.
So we met some friends down there. We parked. She like has this special parking set up at this garage, so she set us up with that. And we're walking, and we stop at this one bar. It's like a new hidden bar in Baltimore. It's like hidden within a restaurant, and you have to like find it.
So it was a place that you didn't know about when you were living there, or wasn't there?
No, it's new. It's new.
Okay.
So we asked one guy, we're like, is it there? And he's like, yeah, you got to go that way. And then we went down to where he told us to go, and there was nothing there. And we're like, what? And then we asked this other guy, this busboy, and we're like, is this where the elk room is, or is it set? And he like points over to this door that looks like a door to like go to like a kitchen or something. It's really weird.
Okay.
And he opens it up, and it was this bar. It was this hidden bar.
Wow.
Yeah, very strange.
I know,
That's
like in
kinda cool,
LA,
though.
that's like an LA thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
A lot of bars like that in LA.
It was, and they have like the bartenders there, they're like craft bartenders, so they're wearing like those leather overalls things with like the tools and everything, like they're mixologists, you know. And I will say the mixed drinks there were excellent.
What was your drink of choice?
I got a Moscow Mule.
You get those. That's kind of a go-to a bit for you.
They're best when they have the right ingredients to make it, and they did.
Sure.
They used like, you know, like all the good stuff. So that was excellent. So then we go to where we're going to go to dinner, and it's in Fells Point. And we were in Harbor East, which is next to Fells Point. We're walking over towards Fells Point and start hearing like really loud music in the distance.
How far is this, just so I have an idea? Like a couple blocks?
I'd say we're probably about 8 to 10 blocks from where we need to go. Or maybe less, maybe 7 blocks.
Okay.
Short blocks. So we're walking, and the music's getting a little louder, and I'm like, and the guy we're with says, "Oh, that must be coming from a bar or something." And I said to him, "That's too loud to be coming from a bar." I said, "That sounds like a live band outside."
Now, did it sound like a parade, or did it sound like a nightclub?
No, it sounded like a live band. It sounded like a live band, because he's trying to say it was like music coming from a bar, not that it was a band, like it was a MP3 or some shit coming from the bar. And I'm like, no, that's live music. So we're getting closer, and then I start seeing like little tents in the background.
Okay.
And seeing like people, and as we're getting closer, there's more people and more tents, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Fells Point Festival. What are we doing down here? It's like the worst place in the city we could have possibly been.
Oh, man.
And we're rolling into it.
Stumbling into the middle of the festival.
Yes.
Wow, that's
so happened.
It was a bug. It was a bug. But luckily, the people we were with good company. So while it was a bug that it was Fells Point Festival, we laughed about it and made the best of it. But
Sure.
what sucked is that the restaurant we went to was in like the middle of it. And like during these like free-for-all festivals, there's like tent areas and all that shit,
Yeah.
but the restaurants are still open. So they'll just trash the restaurant.
Yeah, come in, just spill everywhere.
Right.
It's sticky floors.
Right. Service is horrible.
Yeah.
Because they're
Food
so-
is horrible.
They're
yeah.
so busy,
And-
they can't keep up with
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah, you
Right.
walk into the bathroom and there's like
Oh.
the drunk guy in the bathroom. Hey, bruh, what's going on?
Yeah,
bruh?"
like-
and you're
yeah,
trying
exactly.
to just pee. And yeah.
Yeah, so there
Yeah.
was a lot of that going on. So that kind of like blew
Yeah.
in that sense.
Right.
But again, we were with good company and we had a lot of laughs. So that really like made up for the fweep that was going on.
Sure.
So then we had a long dinner. So then when we were done with dinner, the festival part had like closed down, but people were still milling around.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was more chill and we went to like get gelato and hang out outside. And that
Okay.
was a much more chill vibe. But like during that whole thing, it was like, cause like we were getting mad too. Cause we, typical Lowell, sit down at the table, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, haven't even come by to get our drink order.
Of course, always
But-
happens to you.
The couple we were with, the female, she was like me. So she was actually, before I even said anything, she's like, I'm going to get up and say something to
Oh,
him.
good.
And I'm like, all right, I'll go with you if you want. She's like, no, I got it. I'm like, all right. So just as she was going to get up and do it, the waitress came over and then we got the ball rolling.
Nice. That is perfect. It's always nice to have that backup, that person that you know is going to take care of it when and
Right.
you don't have to.
Right, you don't have to. And they're
Yeah.
really, some people are really good at it too. Like they can do it without
Right.
like
They don't care.
They're
They
not
don't-
trying to be a
Right.
dick. They
Right.
don't. They're not like ruffling feathers, so they're gonna spit in your food later.
Right, because sometimes people can come off, even if they're not being mean about it, it comes off as
Right,
mean.
because they're like just sort of assertive in general.
Right.
I have
right,
a friend
exactly.
like that. She comes off as mean, but it's just because she's just really assertive.
I always worry about that because Amy's very assertive, but she's usually very friendly about it.
is.
But sometimes just the way that she says it, or she might even be a little sarcastic, like being silly. But I'm like, Amy, that person doesn't know
Right,
what the
right.
sense of humor you got right now.
Right, right,
They don't
right.
know that level.
Victor does the same thing.
All right, that is going to do it for the Mark and Lowell Show. Please go to Facebook, go to Twitter, go to iTunes, or I shouldn't say iTunes anymore. Go to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review or subscribe if you haven't already. To get that information or any other information, Mark and Lowell, just go to markandlowell.com.
And if you'd get me on TikTok or live in, forget where we are. Where are we? White Marsh, Lowell Melser, WBAL, TV 11 News. Oh, that just reminded me.
Yeah.
Today I did a story about a parvo outbreak,
Okay.
and I had to read the symptoms on the air.
Oh, lots of diarrhea, I bet.
Bloody diarrhea.
Oh, bloody diarrhea is back.
Yeah.
I gotta
So you
have
may
that
have to pull
somewhere.
that.
Let me see. Do I got the bloody diarrhea somewhere? Oh no! You know what? God, I haven't played this in a long time.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one.
I'll have to find your bloody diarrhea. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's on the website. You can pull. I think it's extreme bloody diarrhea.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, special thanks to Lisa Runyon.
Bye, boys.
Oh, and she ain't lying.
And a big shout out to Buzz Burbank, RJ Diaz, Aaron Lamb, and everybody else who helps us with this show. For Lowell Melser, I'm Mark Ronick. We will see you next time on The Mark and Lowell Show.
Bye-bye.
Symptoms include vomiting and bloody diarrhea.
the whole thing at the Shiva house too, because it's Orthodox. I never knew. Like, I was afraid to do something wrong, or
Can I?
It turned out to be
put cheese on this plate?
Well, that's the thing. There was no creamer. Well, the one day we were there, there was coffee out. There was no creamer out, and then I'm wondering, like, ooh, is that a dairy thing? Like, I'm thinking, like, why is dairy not allowed in coffee? That's not what the kosher.
Right.
You're allowed to have dairy. You're not allowed to have it mixed with meats.
Right.
So, I don't know the rules. And then, like, I think my mother-in-law, like, she's like, let me sneak you some milk. I'm feeling like I'm in the kitchen sneaking some milk into my little coffee cup.
Right.
Did they have, like, all the mirrors covered and all that?
Mess everybody up is this gonna offend them? If this is this like a meat cup?
And then there were no ice cubes out by the drinks and the soda and the water. And so now I'm thinking, am I not supposed to have ice cubes? Is that like an insult for the? You don't know what the hell to do.
Right. See, that's what it's great to be like me, because I can be like, I'm not really sure.
The thing is. I mean, they're super Orthodox and religious, but they're understanding that not everybody gets it or knows what to do. But I couldn't believe that dude fell in the...
Yeah, I can't believe that either.
I couldn't believe it. I can't believe
you didn't whip out your phone and take a video of that shit.
Oh, my gosh. If that wouldn't have been completely inappropriate, I would have totally have done it.
And maybe even surreptitiously.
It's the whole thing. The guy falls. There's even like a gasp in the back.
Yeah, was everyone like, "Oh my God, how could he? How could he?"
No, I think everyone was just worried about him. That's a long drop, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
He did it on purpose.
Hello? Hello? Let me out! Where the fuck am I? Hello? Hello? Let me out! It's fucking dark in here! Where the fuck am I? Is that priest I can hear? That fuck! He's showing me, I'm in the box. No, I'm fucking front of you, I'm dead. Hello again, hello. I just called to say goodbye.